but I'm not sure that how you, well,
We didn't want you to feel too closed in over
Yeah.
there because this drapery detail,
takes up the rest of the room.
it takes up a fair amount of the room. And, but we wanted something under the TV. So that's kind of how we
Okay.
ended up back at a console. So, but that's a small detail to figure out. Okay, then from there, that just shows how your draperies right now, these will all be blackout.
Okay.
So when they're closed,
Good.
it's dark.
Good.
Right now, we're
Because
putting
there's a lot of windows.
you have a lot of windows.
Yeah.
But and this one will open into the room this way, but it'll meet the other in the
Sure.
corner.
Mhm.
Because when you want that corner detail, you're going to want to be able to, we didn't want to
So will
split
this
anywhere.
fabric extend then down the walls and then across the back?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so the whole way around
Yes,
is
so
done.
you'll have
Okay.
essentially, think about this panel here.
Right.
But it'll be, when it's covered, it's going to go here,
and
all the way, it's going to U-shape. So it's like
Okay.
you're in this
Right.
like upholstered room.
Mhm. Okay.
And then when it's open, you're going to
this
have
fabric.
this corner of glass fully
Mhm.
exposed.
Yeah.
This will probably cover this a tiny bit, just because we don't want to push the fabric too far that way, but it'll
Yeah.
still give you that full corner with your
Okay.
divided. And then on your other two windows, we're going to do an inside mount Roman shade
Okay, good.
that is the
Yeah.
same as this fabric.
Oh,
And it'll
Okay.
be blackout. I will say that when you have an inside mount, you will get some light bleed.
yeah, that's not a big deal.
But we just kind of felt we didn't like mounting it out because the change, we're going to try to do this fairly high,
Mm-hmm.
even though it's going to keep this gap. We just liked how it felt when it was closed in the room. And with the 4-poster bed, we felt it was fine. Because we have a 10-foot ceiling. Flat ceiling in here, or did we tray it?
It's flat.
Okay. Okay, and we're gonna use that same window treatment in your study,
Study too,
because
okay.
it works with the other. So it'll be
Okay,
like that,
all right.
okay? Okay, the bathroom, there's nothing new except we want to discuss what kind of window treatment, because you
Yeah,
have,
because there's a lot of window in that hallway. Yeah.
yes, so you have these three plus your
Mhm.
door,
Yeah.
which will be a light.
Yeah.
This
Small.
one you're probably fine with
Mhm.
nothing, because I don't know what's happening right here, and it's a higher window.
Yeah.
So unless you're nervous about something, you wouldn't really put a treatment in there.
Yeah.
If you said I've got to have a treatment in there, then we would need to go with the shutter.
Okay.
And we need to do a shutter that can be waterproof or
Mhm.
handle the moisture.
Mm-hmm.
And if we were to do a shutter there, then we would want to consider a shutters elsewhere. There's nothing wrong with shutters. They make it feel a little more solid, but if you open them up and they're the 2.5 to 3 inch shutter, you can have pretty much full look through. It just becomes more lines that you're looking through, and then you can have solid privacy. But if we do a line shade
Mm-hmm.
with something that's, you can go with a grass shade. We have a couple of samples. There's roller shades that have textures that are very nice, that you can have, that just give a beautiful texture and allow complete privacy, but also let light through. This is the area I'm trying to figure out how you're gonna want to have that space. Like, how do you want, when you're home alone, do you want those windows open, except at nighttime maybe?
Probably.
Like and depending, just kind of when it gets dark, you may want to close them.
Yeah.
So you felt if someone, not that you're going to have anyone in your backyard, but, just from a privacy standpoint. So when they're down, they're completely, this is raised from the bottom, top up, bottom down. So you can do this type where you could stop the fabric right here, but it's a cord that you have to operate.
Uh-huh.
This one could be, these could be automated, this one couldn't. The only reason I thought about automation for your bedroom, nowhere else for your window treatments, it is definitely a cost change, is that you can come in and those 3 windows could just be all at the same level instead of you adjusting.
So, like on a more sort of industrial scale, like in my office at work, it's a fabric similar to this, right? And it has a little chain that you pull it
Yes.
up and down. That's fine with me.
Okay. So
So-
then if you, then it's just a matter of whether you would like to have like the drapery stuff and you could be able to look out in the garden, but you're covered from here up. That's what this does. If that doesn't matter to you, you're just
No.
over here and you can raise it all the way up when you
Yeah,
want.
I'll stick with this side over
Okay.
here, yeah.
Perfect. We'll use this on here, on the
Not
door,
automated.
and over here,
Yeah.
and you're fine. And they have something called Light Rise, or the one that you just can push up, and I
Yeah.
think the windows may be scaled okay for that. So we'll see. We'll see whatever's going to operate the smoothest and has a good warranty.
Okay,
So back to, we will keep this completely open.
okay.
But this and all of these will have the same
same
treatment
shape.
and
Okay.
something kind of like this where there's
Okay.
enough texture that it adds something to the room, but and it will not be blackout, it'll be light filtering. If we had,
So for the door shade,
Mhm.
it might have to be tacked down on the corners at the bottom, so it's not like flapping when I open the door.
yes, if you have it all the way up, it's no big deal, but they have, there are locks that you can put in, or catches that you
So
can
catch
put
at
in.
the bottom so
Yeah,
that
so-
it doesn't just
Mhm.
start, yeah, okay.
So, and then we don't have a vanity stool or anything for you yet because your vanity still has a little work to be figured out. Next page, but your tiles, all that's done. We do have your niche, which we need to talk about. So here's,
Yep.
so the only question I had was, do you mind the stuff being behind your handle?
I don't think so. Do you
Okay.
think? Is that an issue?
Well, it's just if you're in your bath, like this is a bit awkward over here. I mean, you can rise it and reach it, but you're kind of grabbing up and over because this is mounted right in front. So it would be, a reference would be kind of, here's the niche,
Because it would be too high if you go higher with it.
here's your shampoo.
Great mock-up.
Here's your shampoo. Here is your faucet right in front of it.
Uh-huh.
So you're
Okay, that's a problem. Yeah.
reaching up and over. Now you have some on the end where you
Yeah.
can grab it. I don't know what kind of product person you are. So everybody, that's a very, some people like, okay, I'm gonna want my shampoo there and I'm gonna want it over there when they have a tub and a bath. I like this soap, I like these things, I want my razor here, I want
Yeah.
all of those items. So
How
it's just more, and this is what we have, right? This is drawn according to what we have. So this side is more awkward than this side,
just because of the faucet.
just because of the faucet and where it is. We will confirm that with Janine for you, but that was our flag on this, was like, that feels awkward for her.
How did you have it before? Just a
We had a
square box?
smaller one over
Like
here.
a more of a square just off to the
Yeah.
side.
Well, even when we had it arched, we put it to one side.
Right. You could
Can
do
you
the
just
arch.
slide it to the left then and just?
Making it smaller. I think we had drawn
We
it.
had
Yeah.
it smaller before.
You know, so it's not centered, but I think it's,
Yeah, I mean, you could do that same shape just over here on the
slide
side.
it over a little bit.
yes, where it's towards the opposite of how this hangs. So we would want to confirm the way that faucet, if this is correct, then we would put it right here. Because I think in your tub, you can sit either way, because I think it's a center drain. So if you decide you want to look at the wall, your beautiful tile, or do you feel better looking? So it's a question, like how you, like if you're sitting this way all the time, then we would, I think we're overthinking it. It's just this bit, I was thinking you're kind of having to reach behind, and I'm not sure that that is the best use of that.
I don't know which way I'll sit. I honestly don't. So if it's to the left, then I would have to sit looking out the window.
No, you just kind of, if it's over here, then, I mean, it's just you're sitting up. It's not like this tub is that long.
Right.
So here I am, I'm laying down, I'm leaning forward, I'm just grabbing my things from over here. If we reduce the size of it, we may do a shelf. which just means that there's like this right here. So bar soap, razor, all of that can go that way. Sponge, shampoos. But still the arch would be the same. But I'll review that with Janine. We'll put that on our list if she says you're making too much of it. But we like to think about those things now just because you're spending extra to get this arch done.
And then for the shower area, you're just putting a rectangular, and are we doing a little, is that what the black thing
Yeah.
is? Just
That little ledge.
a ledge, okay.
So if you look at the floor plan, oh, I know we had it drawn in
It's
one.
in that
That's an old one.
elevation.
It's right there.
Okay,
It's at 18 inches high, and it's 6 or 8 inches, 8 inches deep.
8 inches.
So actually from your tub, you'll be able to set a glass of wine there,
yeah,
you'll be
that's
able to
nice.
have coffee, you'll
Yeah.
be able to have water, you know, you could have a book sitting there, you know. I kind of like to have, like when I'm hanging in my tub for a while, I'll have my phone, something that I'm drinking, a washcloth right there, you know. But,
okay.
so you're
You don't have to
bending
lean
too far.
over.
Okay, and it'll be stable enough that if for any reason you had, that you were to sit, you know, if you
It
just
wouldn't.
need it to, that you have it there.
Right,
We need to confirm that they put
blocking.
plenty of blocking if there was ever to be an added grab bar.
We talked, grab bar. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
not that you're gonna do it, but if it's in the wall,
Mhm.
it's just something that's there that that they can just drill through your tile at some point.
Later. Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're also good looking now that it can look just like a part of your hardware, like you had a towel bar in there. Okay. Hallway, the chest, and then Rudy did the new drawing of that, mimicking this, but this is kind of how he's done it. And with the light, that's going to be a nice little detail, just a little added. Your powder bath, cabinetry, mirror, sconces, things that you've seen, the hardware that will go on here. Your amazing towel and your amazing powder bath wallpaper. Let's make a note to have the company lay it out on the walls for us so they can send that to us just to make sure everything's fits appropriately. We might as well do that now in case we had to make any shifts. Okay. Kitchen. Okay. Kitchen and powder bath kind of together just so you can see how the colors, I mean, it's just gonna look fantastic. And again, it's playing off everything else that you have. Even when you look at this across from there, it complements it. Really like your countertop selection. We will work on that slatted cabinet detail. And then just to kind of, it was this one in the kitchen.
Yes.
You know, and it looks a lot different when it's painted.
Mm-hmm.
So we would have the two colors of paint on the cabinetry. We have plaster walls in there, correct?
Right. I don't know if the kitchen has plaster.
I don't think
Well, you don't have much. You don't have much wall space in the kitchen now that I think about it.
Yeah.
It's all cabinetry.
I think it's just the hood. It
Yes.
might be plaster.
Right, that's right.
so. We have like just kind of a rich cream. I
I
kind
like
of see
that.
like your plaster having this tone within it, and
Because that was the other thing, we have to pick the color.
but we can since she, I don't know who she's using. If she's using Segredo or Lux Finishes, I'll ask
Okay.
her.
I believe she's using Segredo.
That's
Yeah,
what I
That's
thought.
what I.
So we'll go ahead and
I've
get
heard
her
of
to create a finish, but it would have kind of this undertone richness in it, your countertop, and then we have two tones for possibly the island. There's your fabulous floor.
Mhm.
This, it's gonna, you know, we'll just, we'll decide as we get a little bit closer which one we prefer,
Mm.
you know.
I like the brownish one better.
This one?
Yeah.
I think
More
it's,
than the
it's
gray.
there's a depth,
Yeah,
so you can kind
Warmer.
of see
yeah.
that wonderful
great.
tile.
So the cabinets will be light, and this will be,
This will be the island. Did we end up with
Island.
just the island out of this because of how the cabinet's laid out?
yes,
Yeah.
so dark okay.
Island.
And then you have your
pretty
great,
gray
let's
wall.
look at her
That's great.
light fixtures above really quick.
Mhm.
Those with that mirrored
Mhm.
detail and that black.
That's really pretty.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then back to the, and then your sink and your faucet, we're still pushing you to get this little banquette for that space because it's affordable and we just like how cozy it makes it.
Oh, to put a banquette in there.
So like 4 of you could have
Wow.
dinner around that little table. You could have
Wow.
an intimate little, or just, sit there and have coffee or have a glass of wine. You have these 3 here, like if you're having a casual evening
Mhm.
and you're just hanging out and cooking and doing kind of, and not wanting to go sit at the dining room.
Right.
So it just allowed it to be more than 2.
That's interesting, okay.
And we just use this little banquette. It's really affordable from like CB2
Yeah.
and,
Can you flip back to that so I can see it? Oh, that's cute too.
and we left it with your table.
Yeah.
And then with your chairs, we wanted to do a kind of patterned fabric on that because we don't
get
have
that
a,
redone, okay.
yeah.
Because they're in great shape. You don't think you can
Well,
pull with that?
we could
Yeah.
always leave it. We just
Or do
like,
the,
Just like the color and the pattern that
we just
brought.
like bringing the pattern and then we just did like a little lumbar pillow on this. We just used a little detail just to pull that color back over. As a designer, we just have to give you every little
Yeah.
element and
Yeah.
then you just put check, check, X.
Yeah.
Check, check.
Yeah. Yeah. Check, check, yeah. Well, the chairs are in great condition.
Well, we can always
I
leave
was
them for
kind of
now.
imagining that the bar stools, I saw some bar stools that, that had the same, what's it
Tack
called?
detail?
Tacky, yes, uh-huh. And I
Mhm.
thought, boy, that would be just so simple to have that just sort of replicated in the,
I would encourage you to change.
Oh, really?
Instead of match. Because then it just feels more collective instead of you went and bought a set.
okay, oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, just, yeah, because I like these chairs to stand out for who they are.
Okay,